Well, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bayer in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up those football gods this morning. How's everybody doing? I'm feeling great. It is Monday. Did I actually say that? I'm feeling great, and it's Monday? Well, you know, I love Mondays because, you know, Monday night, we have our Monday nights live stream. I hope you guys tune in 9 o'clock Eastern. We've got so much going on with week 3 of phase 3 OTAs. This is it. This is the last chance for the coaches to install stuff before training camp. We've got a couple more practices starting tomorrow, and there's all kinds of news and working parts that are going on in the NFL. And as much as we only want to be about the Dallas Cowboys, we have to understand that what happens outside of the Dallas Cowboys can affect the Dallas Cowboys. Knowing that one of the teams that we are facing this year, week 10, the Atlanta Falcons, losing or trading and saving some money, I guess gaining cap space. The Atlanta Falcons, a team that truly needs to rebuild. Having him go to the AFC is huge. And knowing that tomorrow that Aaron Rodgers is supposed to be there for mandatory minicamp. Now, technically, if he doesn't show up, it's $98,000 for each workout, which the team can forgive, can say it's an excused absence, so to speak. But I think Aaron Rodgers has dug in. I think the Green Bay Packers are beginning to dig in and basically say that Aaron Rodgers isn't going to run the organization. Either way, the more drama that's associated with that, and if Aaron Rodgers does not play for the Atlanta Falcons, for the Green Bay Packers, this again is another external thing that helps the Dallas Cowboys. That's one of the top tier teams. Gone to the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. If you can see those all fall a little bit, that helps us out in the grand scheme of things. But helping us out more than anything else is helping ourselves out. And my question this morning is our defense, which is altered, it's changed. It's not anything like it was before. You've seen almost a 50% turnover on our defense. We have so many new faces and guys that are here that you can't really compare what happened last year with these guys. Most of these guys weren't here and weren't part of this, especially Dan Quinn. The thing that's terrible about being a Dallas Cowboy fan, I always like to compare us to being Charlie Brown, at least in the last 25 years. We've got a great history. The fact that we've got 3 people being inducted in a few weeks into the Hall of Fame bodes well for what our past was. Our current situation has not been real good. Let's be clear on that. It has not been real good. And so looking at that from the standpoint of where we are right now, is Dan Quinn everything that we're believing, or is this just that he's not Mike Nolan? And when I say that we're like Charlie Brown, I know most of you are too young to understand this one, but with Charlie Brown cartoon, Charlie Brown is always trying to kick the football. Lucy, who's a little bit devious, is the one who's always holding the football. And every time Charlie Brown gets up that running start to kick the football, she pulls it away, and Charlie Brown just goes for loops and falls on his back. And that's how it feels sometimes being a Dallas Cowboy fan over the last 25 years. We always have so much hope that this year it's going to turn around. This year it's going to be different. This year we're going to believe what we hear in the offseason. And this is the conundrum for me because I see so many different things that are taking place on the defense. You know, people will say, Dak Prescott haters will say, well, Dak Prescott, they were losing without him. With him. So why do you expect him to be any better? Well, if you have the number one offense, if you're able to score and put up points, even when your offensive line is not there, You're doing your part. But we've been let down with the defense. And anybody who points the finger at the offense and says they're the reason they lost without looking at the defense that was giving up 36 points a game, I can't help you. I just can't help you. If this team is going to succeed, it's going to be because the defense plays better. Dan Quinn, I was listening to when it was just about time for him to get fired in Atlanta. Listening to Sean Witherspoon was talking about how Dan Quinn preached accountability. Dan Quinn preached fundamentals and was a player's hands-on coach. And people look at him and say he's a loser because he didn't win in Atlanta. The fact that he took an Atlanta Falcons team that Mike White had, which made the playoffs on a regular basis. I want to say that Matty Ice was in the playoffs 4 times, and all were one-round, exits. The fact that he took that team as a head coach, first-time head coach, to the Super Bowl, and the team, to me, got old. I think the biggest problem with what happened with Atlanta was they had the Dallas Cowboys syndrome, where they kept believing we're just a player or two away and kept trying to hold on to it. But what you have to understand in the NFL is this. You need to get a group of guys, a core group of guys, young. You've got to institute your plan, what you're trying to do with them, and you've got about a 5-year window with that group of guys to win it all. And then what happens is they get old, they become free agents and get a whole bunch of money, people grab your coaches, and it's a natural cycle that goes down. Dan Quinn took that team of core group of guys, elevated them close on that Super Bowl, but then they got old and fell off the cliff. And you can see this whole thing happens. This dynamic happens constantly in the NFL. Carolina Panthers, 15-1, go to the Super Bowl. Denver beats them and literally go off a cliff, and they're in the process of rebuilding. The Eagles catch lightning in a bottle. They end up winning the Super Bowl. What happens? They got old and went off a cliff. San Francisco pops up, goes to the Super Bowl, all of a sudden goes off the cliff. So I look at that with Dan Quinn, and I don't say that Dan Quinn, or I can even say Sean Payton. Sean Payton, after they won the Super Bowl, had 4 7-9 seasons. It's the natural cycle that happens, and it's one of the reasons why coaching changes need to be made on a regular basis. It's not like when I grew up, when Tom Landry's coaching for 30 years to the same team. That won't ever happen again, except maybe Bill Belichick. But that doesn't happen, and that's why we held on to Jason Garrett too long. We should have started the process after the 2015 season. Started, boom, new coach, new philosophy, changes. Now, so coming back to Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator, we're getting night and day difference between Rod Marnelli. Rod Marnelli was a good defensive line. Rod Marnelli was the defensive line whisperer. Rod Marnelli would take guys that were journeymen and make them really competent defensive linemen. But Rod Marnelli had his weaknesses, and his philosophy was outdated. Bend, don't break. We're not going to attack you, and which is one of the reasons why during his tenure as defensive coordinator, we didn't get a lot of takeaways, except for 1 year, 2014. This is a totally different philosophy for Dan Quinn. I'm going to get young guys. They're going to be strong. They're going to be fast. They're going to be physical. And they're going to have length. And we're going to attack you. We're going to be fast and physical. And I think that this shaking up of trying something that's a bit different than what the team has done is a wake up. You almost see everybody who is ecstatic about what they're doing. So when I look at this, I want to believe that this is actually a change for the positive for the Cowboys, and this isn't the fake juice that we always get. Usually we sign, or we end up getting a big draft pick, or we bring in a new coach and all that, and all of a sudden we think, oh, we got this, The difference being when we brought in, like, say, a Chris Richard. Chris Richard knows the same defense here that we're talking about now. But see, Chris Richard wasn't given autonomy to do what he wants. Chris Richard was under Ron Marinelli. So you didn't really get a chance to see what he would have done with the team. This is different for the Cowboys because I think Dan Quinn has had complete autonomy on the type of players that the Cowboys are getting as far as the draft and making the moves, that he is actually able to be hands off from the upper management and actually work with the team and build this defense. Because let's face it, from where we were last year, couldn't be any worse. Why not say, fix this? And I think that this, for one, may actually be an opportunity for us to actually kick the football. If I'm crazy, let me know. Give me your thoughts and things on, do you believe that this is going to be a real turnaround for the defense? And mind you, I'm not saying this defense is going to go from 29th to 10, to the top 10 defense. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not sure that that's possible, although Washington went from 23 to 5. Big move. If this defense can just get takeaways and 1 or 2 stops a game, with the offense that we have, that will put us in an opportunity to win against almost anybody. Now, maybe I'm crazy. That's my thought. If you've got an argument on it, I'd love to hear it, why I'm completely wrong. I think that this time, this slice of humble pie that the Cowboys got last year was a wake-up call for them. All right, guys, you know the deal.
I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report.
You did it one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
See you tonight, 9 o'clock.